Now will we see the magic?
All right, where's Murray? Okay, who is it?
This is Jesus, kid.
Know then that it is the year 10,191.
Yes, we are bored. We're all bored now.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
Hi, I'm Dennis.
Seriously? You know what? You didn't even, plug in my headphones.
You always plug them in.
No, I don't. Anyway, go on.
Hello, I'm Dennis Ling.
We've already done that.
And this is Dennis versus the Movies, where I take movies and defeat them.
You know what? I don't think you've defeated any of the films we've watched. I'm
we have
sorry.
3 corpses behind us.
No, you don't. They've defeated you. They've won you over. However, this might actually be the one that you defeat.
Okay, good.
Because I'm going to show you trash.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
I love trash, though.
Well, yeah, that is sort of a problem. The first film I showed you, let's recap. The first film I showed you was The Great Muppet Caper, right?
Yeah.
And that was great. We had a guest.
And we had a Muppets expert.
Yes, and you enjoyed it because it was Muppets.
Yeah.
And we had a good time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I enjoyed it because it was Muppets, because it was Charles Grodin.
Yeah.
There's a lot to enjoy.
There's Peter Falk shows up, right?
Yeah.
Second film we showed was After Hours.
Yeah.
And you enjoyed
It
that.
was a turkey. It wasn't that good.
It was what?
No, that was
That's
good.
Martin Scorsese, you piece of... Shut up.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah?
he's all right.
What'd you think of After Hours?
I loved it. It was great.
Absolutely, yes. So then the third film we watched was The Last Unicorn.
Yeah, it was,
And-
no. I love that too. It was great.
Yeah, it was great.
Very 70s feeling.
Well, 82,
Yeah.
you know.
But it didn't feel like the 80s to me.
Well, guess what? You're going to watch the most 80s thing you've ever seen
Nice.
when we watch our next film.
The story of Aldo Nova.
Wait, what?
Aldo Nova, you know?
No, I don't. Well-
So there's this video by this band Aldo Nova. I forget what the song was, but it starts off with him coming out of a helicopter in a tight leopard skin one-piece thing. And and he's got a guitar. And he's got these guys with these Uzis, and they're because Uzis were everywhere in the 80s. And they're like, come up to like this big warehouse, and you hear this crowd cheering on the inside. They try to open the door, but it's locked. And he just kind of motions them to stand back or something, and they back off with their Uzis because they're so intimidated by his manliness. And then he aims his guitar at the door, and a laser comes out and blasts the door open, and then he plays.
Okay, so I want the audience to know that I have not collaborated with Dennis on this at all. He completely just pulled that out of his butt.
What?
No. Let me explain. Here's the thing.
All right.
What you just described to me
Yeah.
fits perfectly with the film I'm about to show you.
Oh, wow.
Yes. It is not dissimilar.
Huh.
It is just as dumb.
Dumb? What do you mean dumb?
I think you know exactly what I mean. So I can't believe how appropriate
Wow.
whatever nonsense you just said to me was. I tuned out like 2 seconds in.
What?
But no, it absolutely fits because the movie we're going to watch tonight is a Canadian film called Rock and Roll Nightmare.
Yeah.
And it is some garbage that a guy showed me in college, and then I did not get laid, and I was a little disappointed. But yeah, that's fine. He wasn't worth it. But anyway, yeah. So I'm going to show you garbage, but it's the kind of garbage that I love.
Yeah.
If they had known about it on MST3K, they would have shown it on MST3K. But I'm sure it was too obscure even for them.
Either that or it just was too expensive. Seems like
I can't imagine.
that's
Look,
their
trust
thing.
me. Once you see this thing, you will understand it is not an expensive film.
Huh.
I mean, if this guy was sitting on rights, he was nuts.
I just know like I've seen shots from it that you've shown me.
Uh-huh.
And it's like this blonde beefcake dude.
Yep.
And you know, like I know there's those Barbarian Brothers that we're going to watch at some point.
Yep.
The Barbarians, I think it's called.
Uh-huh.
And it's starring the Barbarian Brothers. And this guy just looked like he was just, you know, missed out on that.
Uh-huh.
And so they said, well, we'll make you a rock star or something.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask one question.
Hit me.
Are there spies?
No.
Okay. I'm going to try to guess what it is.
Sure.
All right, aliens. And you have to play rock and roll to defeat the aliens. He's the only way that has it. There's a girl who gets abducted, and he rescues her using the power of rock and roll. And there's an evil alien that he blows up his head by playing guitar.
Well, you know what? I think that's
I kind of wish there were spies, but
no, there's definitely no spies. But
Yeah.
you know what? I'm not gonna say anything more
yeah.
because I just want you to experience this.
Okay.
I think trash gets. Look, I won't say it has a bad reputation because it doesn't. It's
Yeah.
trash, but I think there's something joyful in it, right? And I think there's something fun about things that are amateurish, and I don't know. There's something I almost appreciate about it more than things that are polished, right? There's a reason why I want to listen to like Daniel Johnston or Beat Happening before I want to listen to, I don't know, Steely Dan. And I realize that there is something incorrect about authenticity being married to like a certain amateurish, you know, quality or lo-fi quality or whatever. But I do think there is something when you see a thing that is made by people who are not polished professionals that has a certain rawness to it. Like I don't know, like it's kind of a dicey thing because on the one hand, you know, yeah, it gets overplayed, right? And it's not like that's the only thing I like, but and then you end up with people who are trying to like recapture that, recreate that, and because it's fake, there's no magic there.
On the other hand, like Manos, like without MST3K is like unwatchable.
No, yeah, exactly. There are certain things
Like,
that are
it's
just
so boring.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing. Like, you know, you watch MST3K, and they will make bad movies watchable.
Yeah.
And then it's a question of, is this movie watchable without them? And there are certain films that they've shown that I'm like, yeah, I'll watch that without them. Like, I can sit and watch Santa Claus Conquers the Martians or Santa Claus for that matter. Or like, there's a number of like Bird Eye Gordon films that I could easily watch without their commentary, and I find them enjoyable on their own.
I think I could watch Space Mutiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That seems like silly enough.
Absolutely. I could easily watch any of like the canon films they covered, like Alien from LA. I can watch that without them. Like what they bring to
Alien.
it. Oh my God. Anything they bring to it is certainly fun. There's a lot of stuff that they would show in there that like, I mean, look, they showed a bunch of Ed Wood on there that I'm like, I can watch Ed Wood without them.
Yeah.
Easily. And like they would say the same thing. Like if, you know, we went and saw The Mads, Frank Conniff and Trace Beaulieu. I said his name wrong. Damn it. I can't do French. Anyway, we saw them.
Dr. Forrester.
Yeah, Dr. Forrester. We saw them live where they did like a commentary on Glen or Glenda. And like they both said, Glen or Glenda is genuinely a great movie. Yeah. Like it's worth watching by itself. It's weird, but it's fascinating and it's really cool. But it's also fun when they do commentary over it. It's like, it's not like you have, you know, like when they would cover films, it's not like they hated what they were watching. Sometimes they did. Like Red Zone Cuba is not a good film. Yeah. Even with that, you know, even with their commentary, it's a slog. I often think about like there's this Air Force movie that they covered.
The Starfighters?
Yeah, that movie is terrible.
Oh man.
And they barely make it watchable. They put so much effort into making that a thing you could sit through because otherwise it is just the most boring thing
There's like what 30 minutes of refueling.
Yeah, and you know what? All of that refueling footage you also see in the beginning of Doctor Strangelove. You do not have to watch this movie. I'm serious. It's literally the same you know,
just lower.
Footage. Yeah. Oh man, that movie is
color.
so bad.
Like I kind of like the color is the only thing that I noticed about that. Like these beefy, like heart attack looking guys.
They're all 22 and they're all about to die.
I know.
And not from being in a plane.
They all look like they're like 50.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's funny how like each generation they have like a little bit more longevity, because these guys aren't even boomers at this point. They're like silent generation. They're like your parents' generation, and they all like they're dying like really like ugh. Anyway, the point being, there's something to be said for trash.
Yeah.
One problem we have with media as it is right now is there's just not enough trash. That's where reality television kind of steps in to take over where the trash should be. But we need to just have like genuine trash, and we don't.
Yeah.
You know, there's something to be said for like losing an hour watching, Walker, Texas Ranger. There's something to be said for losing 2 hours watching, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman or something.
Or The Killer Tomatoes.
Or Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, which is actually a movie we're going to cover at some point, because I've never actually sat and watched that. Or, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
What's the mall one? Like Chopping Mall?
Chopping Mall is on our list. I've never sat and watched Chopping Mall. We are good. Good. Trash is good.
Yeah.
There's look, do I like high art? Yeah, man. I watch, Fellini and...
You nearly attacked me for besmirching Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, you're goddamn right I did. I don't know what you consider like art films, but like Wim Wenders or whatever. If we weren't watching this tonight, it could. If you said let's watch, oh God, what?
8.5?
No, well, yeah, 8.5. But what's the Angels?
Oh,
Wings of Desire.
Yeah.
Like if you said, hey, let's watch Wings of Desire. Yeah, I'll watch that. Or I'll watch The Red Shoes, or I'll watch, anything.
Is what, Until the End of the World, is that on our list?
It is on our list, and that's like a 5-hour movie.
Is it 5? I thought it was a 3.
No, man, it's over 4 hours.
I saw it on HBO.
Yeah, there's multiple cuts.
Oh, okay. That's
there is a cut that's like 4.5 hours long.
Oh, good.
And we will do it at some point.
Yeah.
But in lieu of that, I am showing you trash tonight.
So we have our questions.
Yeah, we have our questions.
So is there a love triangle? I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I feel like with trash, like you just want to get to the trash, and you don't want to like you don't want to like script to get in the way. Because you're making up the script as it goes along.
Pretty much.
Is there a death? Yes.
Yeah.
Someone dies. I don't think that the hero dies, but he kills somebody. And is there a dog? I'm gonna say no, because it costs money to wrangle a dog.
Yeah. Okay. I think those are all good points.
So those are my guesses. I gave you what the plot is.
Yep.
So we'll see if I'm correct.
Shall we go watch this dumb movie?
Yeah.
Come on, let's tune our weapons.
What's the sound moving through the ages? What's the sound turning over pages? Rock! Talking about rock!
Get him, Lita Ford.
Oh, don't drag Lita Ford into this.
Yeah.
She doesn't deserve that.
I did not expect this to be a Christian film.
It's a stealth Christian film, kind of like the way that Black Sabbath...
Black Sabbath, a better band. No, Black Sabbath is great, but Black Sabbath is pretty cool too.
Look, I love Black Sabbath. I kind of want to do a cover band called Black Sabbath now. But look, Black Sabbath had all kinds of like weird Christian stuff going on.
Yeah.
So yes, no, this is
Sabbath, bloody Sabbath. Yeah. So Monster was on the drums?
You mean Animal?
Animal, sorry, Monster.
No.
His brain drained brain cells from me. Sorry.
This brain drained brain. This movie killed us.
Yeah. Edit that so it makes me sound smart. Please.
No, I can't. I can only do so much.
All right, first, who is Rusty Hamilton?
I don't know. Who is Rusty
tell us
Hamilton?
Who's Rusty Rusty Hamilton, I guess, was married to
Jon
Thor.
Yeah. In real life, or
in,
just
in real life,
and also in the film.
But in the film, she plays seductress, and I'm like, who is that?
I think that's supposed. Well, okay.
I don't
You
think
run
it's
out.
Stiggy's girlfriend.
No, I don't know if it's supposed to be his wife at the end.
Oh, okay.
Because I guess she's a seductress who like is trying to say that nobody's there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're all dead.
Yeah, they are all dead. They weren't real.
They're not dead at all.
They're
no.
not dead because they
were
never
shadows.
existed.
They were
Yes.
shadows in your mind.
Oh my God. This is one of the dumbest films I've ever seen, and I love it so much. It's so perfect. Like, I think it captures something about 80s hair metal, right?
Yeah.
Just the way it sounds. Okay, so Jon Mikl Thor was, I guess, the lead for the band Thor, which is a Canadian hair metal band. And he's also the writer of this.
He's
He is
also
the star.
a bodybuilder.
He is a bodybuilder. I think he might have been a wrestler.
I think he started like in the 70s.
Yeah.
But never really made it. But like,
God, I wish we had Colette on this episode. Yeah. No, I'm serious. I didn't. I never thought about it until now, but she would have been perfect for this.
yeah.
Yeah, I think he did start off with like bodybuilding and wrestling and
I
all
saw
that.
something where like Jimmy Page saw him in like in 84 or something. It was kind of like this turning point. Or,
Okay.
I don't know.
Like, here's the thing. I honestly think, as far as hair metal goes, it's competent hair metal.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I'm not surprised it didn't get popular just because it does sound like a lot of other stuff that was around at the time.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. I've heard much worse,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it has a sort of dumb, fun quality to it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised, you know, that he's not better known,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also not surprised at all.
He did do a sequel, like Another Rock and Roll Nightmare in 2005.
Well, because this is kind of a cult movie.
Yeah.
You know, like if I was shown this around the year 2000, so yeah, by then it already had built a cult up.
This is very much The Room, though. This is very much, we're going to build a movie around you.
No, I'm going to build a movie around me.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not we're going to
yeah.
build one around you. This is very much I'm making this.
Yeah.
This is all about my vision.
Yeah.
Jon Mikl Thor, that is, who is apparently also an angel.
An angel.
Yeah.
The intercessor?
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah.
I think he's supposed to maybe be the Archangel Michael, but I'm not sure because he does battle with the devil in this. So, I mean, that would, and his name is Michael, you know, Jon Mikl Thor.
Yeah.
So I guess he is supposed to be the Archangel Michael.
The devil, or as the Hindus call you, Shaitan.
That's not even right. That's not what the Hindus, where did he pull that out of? That's not their thing, man. If he had said like Muslims, yes. But that's not, oh God, you're just terrible anthropology in here. Ugh.
You're so used to how dumb this film is by then, and when he starts going off on that tangent, it's like, wait, what just happened? What?
It's so good. It's so wrong-headed. Yeah, because okay, should we explain what happens in this dumb film?
Yeah.
Can we explain what happens in this dumb film? No.
No.
So this movie, it starts like a conventional horror film. The opening is a family in a farmhouse somewhere in Canada.
Deep in the woods, far away from the traffic that's right behind it.
Yeah, like that's a whole thing. Like this is supposed to be a nice isolated farmhouse, and like they're literally on like just a major road. We constantly see cars driving by.
Every establishing shot of this house always has a car going by, like just constantly. It's like you
And then-
couldn't wait like a minute.
I mean, that comes down to like it comes down to editing. It comes down to like cinematography. Like they could have placed the camera in a different spot.
Yeah.
They could have waited until like the car drove by. They could have cut the film so that you didn't see the car drive by. Like here's the thing: when they have another shot where you find out there's an entire field behind the house, I'm like, you could have just turned your camera
Yeah.
and like so that we just saw a different angle of the house and we didn't see the cars drive by. But there's so little thought put into that aspect of the filmmaking that we're constantly seeing cars drive by. But the film opens with what we are supposed to believe is like an isolated farmhouse, and we've got like this family, you know, waking up for the day, and mom is making, you know, breakfast, and dad is shaving with an electric razor in the bathroom, and the kid is, you know, being called down to breakfast. And I do like the fact that everybody in the house seems to have like a 5 o'clock shadow. The child has a shadow.
Yeah.
The mom has a shadow. I can laugh at that because I'm a hirsute woman. So
It's you know, Canada.
it's cold up there. The women have to
You
be
need
bearded.
fur.
They're like dwarves. It's cold. Yeah. So and then, you know, as she's making breakfast, like all of a sudden like the refrigerator eats her. And then the oven like starts eating people too, and eats the child. And
See, I couldn't tell if that was supposed to be her body in the oven or something, but
who knows?
Yeah,
I don't
it's-
think that. I
there's
don't think
no-
they knew either.
yeah.
No. But so then you cut to 10 years later. A band is driving up to the house as if this was, the Pink House up in Woodstock, and they're going to record, Blonde
Yeah.
on Blonde. Again, it's not isolated. They're like, yay, we're going to this isolated farmhouse where we don't have a TV and we don't have a phone and all this other stuff, and it's going to be great.
we just got broads.
Yeah. Oh, God. So, we're introduced to this like metal band, and the idea is like the barn has been converted into a recording studio with 24 tracks. I'm like, oh, yeah, all right, cool, man. And
First off, so they're in this van.
yeah.
Out pops, 8 people?
Yeah. There is a shocking. How many? Why
And
are
there's
there so
equipment.
Yeah. There's no way you could fit
a
that many
clown car?
people.
Or maybe these are shadows from an angel's mind.
See, that's the thing. If none of these people are real, it kind of makes everything work in the
Yeah,
end, because otherwise
so-
it doesn't make any sense at all how you could fit that many people into this van, because you've got a significant other, I guess, for everybody in this van.
Yeah.
And then you've got drums and guitars and amplifiers. It's ridiculous, right? Keyboard, So, because it's just a normal sized van.
Yeah.
But they all show up in this farmhouse.
Kind of a cool looking van, though.
I mean, I'm not saying you would abduct children in it.
No. That's what I mean by cool looking. It doesn't look abducty.
You sure about that?
I don't know.
So we've got this band,
Yeah.
and you've got the drummer, Stig,
Oh, my
with
God.
the fake English accent.
It's terrible.
He never stops wearing sunglasses.
No.
You've got the bassist, whose name escapes me.
There are 2 other band members. They both look like John Tesh.
That's the thing. Like, you've got a guitarist and you've got a bass player, and I can't tell one from the other because they look exactly the same while not being actually twins. They're
Right.
just bland blondes.
Yeah. Just
And
teased hair.
there's nothing to them. They barely exist. Okay.
But short, though. Like,
Yeah.
so that they don't look too much like Thor.
Yes,
Who-
of course.
Thor looks like David Coverdale on steroids. On
Yeah.
lots of steroids.
Yeah. Yes, it's like if David Lee Roth was a wrestler. So
Oh, man. Oh,
I know.
I kind of wish he had a little bit more David Lee Roth energy, though.
That would actually have been a better film.
Yeah.
Like, not that this film's bad. I would totally recommend everybody watching this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, can you imagine if he had actually been David Lee Roth? That would have been incredible.
What, that Eat 'em and Smile era?
Yes.
David Lee Roth?
Yeah. Oh man. So and then you've got the keyboard player. That's a woman.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Our
See,
own Patty Schiaffa.
I thought that was Rusty.
I have no
Hamilton.
idea.
I don't know.
I don't know who Rusty Hamilton is. When the film starts and they have the credits rolling, they're like, and featuring Rusty Hamilton. And I'm like, who
Yeah.
is Rusty Hamilton? And guys, we still don't know.
No.
We have no idea who they played because the credits just say the seductress, and we're not sure who that is because every woman in this film has her top off at some point
Yeah.
and is trying to seduce somebody. So who is,
Except for the groupies,
except for the groupies,
who Satan chases out for some reason.
no, he chases them into the basement and I guess eats them.
Oh, they went into the basement?
They went into the basement and then nothing happens. Look, it didn't say this is a well-made film. I know. They're dead. And we
Well, at
never
least
see
there's
them.
that.
See, that's the thing. When you get to the end of this film and you find out that none of these people actually existed, like, what is happening where, like, the groupies show up? Are they real groupies?
No, I think that's
Are they just another...
Phantoms of the Mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it is, like, the devil who, like, encounters them and forces them into the basement. I get... Oh, God,
Of
I
course,
don't know.
we spend most of the movies, like, basically with these phantoms.
Right.
Like-
So,
Like,
that's...
there's whole scenes without Thor. It's just them talking.
Right,
Or
so
screwing.
there is literally nothing in this movie to make you think that none of these people are real
Yeah.
until the end of the film. Otherwise, what we have is a pretty conventional horror film where a band goes up to a farmhouse and it turns out the place is haunted and the devil is sort of eating them one by one and then taking on their form and seducing them or killing them or whatever.
Yeah.
So that you have, first it grabs their Scooter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Scooter's fine.
He's basically Scooter from the Muppets.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Phil. Phil, that's his name.
His name, that's right. His name
Yeah.
is Phil.
And he's doing the cooking. And you can tell him because he's wearing a paper hat.
And somebody fed Phil, and then he was turned into the devil.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's the first one who goes.
The thing is that when the doppelganger persons come back, they always act cooler than they used to.
Yeah, like Stig's a better drummer.
Stig's a better drummer. He loses the accent and he can suddenly have sex.
I know.
Like, it's great.
It's a huge upgrade.
I know.
Like, Stig is such a bad character.
Oh, he's horrible.
That when he's like a demon, it's just like, no, let the demon stay.
I know. Like when he first showed, as soon as that voice came out, I was like, please kill him first, please.
Oh, and they do. They do.
No, he's second.
Oh, you're right.
Phil
That's right.
goes first.
Yeah. Well, Phil's not any better, to be honest.
Yeah, it's such a cloudy, So you have Memento, you have Shutter Island, things where you don't know what's real.
Uh-huh.
Same thing.
You're putting this in the same category as Memento and Shutter Island.
Yeah. I should make a list on Letterboxd. You don't know what's real.
Write in if you can suggest some more films like this.
But how can you top this?
I mean, this really is the best example of that.
I know.
So yeah, we have Phil gets eaten, and then we have Devil Phil who greets the groupies and eats them, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't actually know what happens to them. And then Stig gets turned in, eaten and turned into a devil, and
then we have the sex part of the film.
yeah, and then there's just a lot of people getting
softcore,
laid. Yeah, there's just a lot of breasts.
And some really weird edits.
Yeah, it's just I guess a day or two passes of various people kind of disappearing and
Well, of the John Teshes, one of them is married to
Yeah.
the other, and there's this weird
No, when you say one of them is married to the other, you don't.
Sorry.
The John Teshes aren't married to each other.
It's a better film.
Yeah.
But no, the one John Tesh is married to a girl, and there's this weird kind of they're married. It's
It does have this weird
this weird domestic
Yeah.
thing going on, and he's like, I like it when I see you, cleaning. I like watching you do domestic activities.
Yeah, there's a very weird sort of we get to room together because we're married, tee-hee. But that's not stopping anyone else from rooming together or having sex in this film. So it's this weird sort of we're married, so what we're doing is okay, but the film doesn't stop anyone else from doing anything. It's so weird because
because Stig and his girlfriend are to get in the same room.
Yeah.
And at one point they tell her to wash dishes, and she's like, well, I don't do housewife stuff, and then storms off.
Yeah.
And then the next scene they're doing dishes.
No, look. Don't just throw your brain out.
Yeah.
Seriously, do not engage. Just let this film wash over you. One by one, they disappear.
I forgot.
What?
The other John Tesh looking guy.
Yeah.
Who I guess is he the bassist, I guess?
Sure, why not?
Yeah. They're Eberts. Remember? It's Mr. and Mrs. Ebert.
Were they actually named Ebert?
Yeah.
Oh god, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Let me guess. I bet that did not win over Roger Ebert.
I don't think so. Oh, we didn't bring up Carl, who actually starts all of this. When they first are unloading the van, there's this guy with a wheelbarrow in the background.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the camera changes angles, and he's always behind somebody, but he's actually moving around with the camera. So it's kind of funny how I don't know. But there's this whole scene of him talking with the tour manager guy or whatever he is. It's you guys just talk for a while and we'll have the camera on you.
Honest to God, I think they kept putting in scenes because the film wasn't long enough.
Yeah.
There's a very long opening driving scene of just a van driving through the countryside.
Well, over music and stuff. They have the
sure
song playing.
Look, this ain't exactly the opening to Woodstock, dude. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a little bit of padding in this, and the padding consists of things like, an entire musical sequence that's just the band playing the song and for the recording, or people having sex, but it's not. I mean, look, I'm not saying it's unerotic, but I did kind of consider bringing back the Hays Code after watching this film. They slowly get eaten by the devil until finally the only people who are left, after copious sex scenes, and one of which ended with the devil turning off the music that was playing on.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, I did it was a portable radio. Actually, it's the same portable radio. It's a Panasonic that my mom has in her bathroom right now. That thing has got to be 40 years old, and I was so excited to see that stupid
cursed by
radio.
Satan.
This is my mom's pajama, okay? Because she still has it.
Nice.
And what was important is it has a tape player in it. So.
Oh, we should point out that so we've seen the devils by now.
Oh, yeah.
And they're basically minions. They're like flesh-colored minions.
Oh, they are minions because they only have one eye.
Yeah.
That's right. They're basically like little gloopy minions.
They're minions that can turn into people.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Oh, no.
No, look, stop looking for logic. Every puppet in this thing looks wet.
Like when we first
They're lumpy.
When we first see the first Muppet thing.
Yeah.
And he just kind of comes out and there's his eye and stuff. And then he goes to like a soda cup. It looks like he's about to drool in it.
He drools right into it. He gobs a big loogie into this cup, and that's what Phil drinks from. And that's, I guess...
But then Phil gets killed.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Like, I thought maybe Phil would turn into one because of that, but
no, they just kill him.
Yeah. It's a little hard to follow because, you question reality.
No, it's not hard to follow. There's just not a lot to follow. It's just like they interact with these things and they all die. But here's the thing we find out. So, this happens through the whole film. And finally, we get to what? Like Thor's wife is the last one to go.
And she sees the kid.
The ghost of the boy from the beginning. She's like talking to Jon Mikl Thor and saying, they're all gone. They're all dead. You know.
The van isn't there. And he says, no, the van's outside. And she's like, what?
And so, that's about how she sounded. And then, he basically goes into this whole soliloquy about how, hey, none of this was real.
Oh, first he turns into Satan.
Well, whatever. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
That's an important point. She's like...
Is it that important?
Yeah.
The point at which she becomes Satan?
A giant Satan puppet.
Okay, this puppet's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait for people to see this dumb puppet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she becomes a puppet, and Thor's just like, I knew you were the devil the whole time, because here's the thing. None of the people that you've attacked were real. They were all shadows that I made so that I could draw you out and we could battle. And now the last 10 minutes of this thing is a fight between Jon Mikl Thor and Puppet Satan and his little throwing stars of,
like quadrupuses.
Yeah. Yes, they were quadrupuses. And what's great is, so whoever is off camera throwing them at Jon Mikl Thor, and he has to grab them and then hold them onto his chest as if they are stuck to him and he's pulling them off. And I'm not saying, that he's a great pantomime artist, but so yeah, then we just have that for longer than it should be. So of him
because there's a long shot of just him holding up the puppet's hands,
and then eventually he just rips apart one of the puppets, but it's all in slow motion.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
And then he starts wrestling with this Satan puppet, which doesn't look that difficult because you're just wrestling with like some rubber and I don't know, paper mache.
Yeah, I will say that eventually, like, he drops his hands and starts punching him, and I'm like, and because this is Canada, it kind of reminded me of a hockey fight. Where he's like, he's just kind of whacking at the head.
I wish this had been more of a hockey fight, to be honest.
Yeah, there should have been jerseys pulled over heads and gloves thrown on the ice. That would have made as much sense as anything.
So I guess like his eyes glow, and then. I don't even remember, what does it mean that he defeats Satan? Because all of a sudden we cut to a graveyard.
His eyes glow for no reason.
Yeah.
And then he grabs Satan's throat. Satan pushes him away. He's like, you win this time. And then sparks fly. And
the next thing you know, we're in a graveyard. Thor is just like...
Well, he's like, I avenged you.
Yeah.
And I guess...
Who did he avenge?
I guess that family.
Maybe, but we don't know. We have no idea.
Those families that get killed by Satan.
Yeah, I have no idea who like, we don't know whose graveyard this is. We don't know who he's avenging. We don't know anything.
This isn't just that family. This is all families that have been killed by Satan. Thor is fighting for you. If you're not killed by Satan, then, all bets are off.
Fair enough. But then the very last scene of this film.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we just cut to a suburban house.
Yeah.
It's not this is not like isolated. It's just a street. It's just a house on a street. It's a single family house, a little ranch house, I guess. And there's ominous music. And then we just zoom out from it. And that's it.
Yeah.
Why?
Satan's in there.
Why?
To kill more people, because that's what he does. He kills people.
Is Satan a Yimby?
I don't know.
Satan's a new urbanist? He doesn't like the suburbs? I mean, okay, I understand. I mean, like, granted, he'd come after us, but, like, what are we doing here?
It's just what Satan does.
So that's the end of the film.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, there was no dog.
There was no dog.
I don't think there was a love triangle.
No.
Not really. Like,
There was a lot of sex. There wasn't a sex triangle. There wasn't anything.
Well, you know what? Sort of. Stig, when he's killed, he first sees another girl, and he's like, "Oh yeah."
Dennis, that doesn't even count.
It's as
because
close as it
the
gets
girl
in
wasn't
this.
real.
Right.
Stig wasn't real.
Stig wasn't. No,
The
nothing's
person
real.
Stig was having sex with wasn't real. And none of those people were real, apparently, because they were all the figments of Jon Mikl Thor's imagination in order to draw out Satan.
Yeah, it's deep, isn't it?
So, yeah.
Yeah. There was no dog.
There's no dog. Is there a death? No, because none of these people were real.
No, the first 3 definitely died. Satan killed 3 people.
Okay, yeah.
That's what Satan
fair.
does.
Okay.
He's the murderer.
Wait a minute.
He's the great murderer.
No, that's not biblical. Satan is not the great murderer. What are you talking? No.
Well, in Hindu.
No. Satan's not in Hindu religion. What is,
He's in all religions.
Oh.
Thor told me.
My poor teeth are going to just grind into dust.
Shiny, shiny pants and bleached blonde hair. A double kick drum by the river in the summer. She fell in love with the drummer. Another than another, she fell in love. I miss the innocence I've known. Playing kiss covers, beautiful and stone.
So that was Rock and Roll Nightmare, starring Jon Mikl Thor and a bunch of people you have never...
Rusty Hamilton.
Who the heck is Rusty Hamilton?
still have no idea.
I still don't know.
Apparently that kid went on to become like a makeup artist or something. Like he's
Jesse D'Angelo?
Yeah.
No.
Whatever. I don't know.
I don't know. Sorry. I know, like, normally I read a whole list of people, but, like, there's nobody in this movie.
No.
And yet, I think this movie's amazing. This movie's great.
Yeah.
It was written by Jon Mikl Thor and directed by John Fasano.
It's definitely so bad it's good.
This is something...
It's not one of those so bad, but still it's bad.
Exactly.
I'm going to make a confession.
What?
This is better than Metal Storm.
Yes, it is.
It is.
This movie rocks.
It really is.
This movie is the best. Metal Storm sucks. This
really
movie is so good.
Metal Storm has just as many like drawn out driving scenes, but there's no
But does it
there's
have
no life to it.
No, this has life.
And there's no Satan
Right.
versus an angel at the
This
end.
has no hair. Yeah, like, I'm sorry. Metal Storm doesn't have hair metal.
And it doesn't even destruct
No.
Jared Sin.
No, this is the best version of those types of dumb movies that we could have possibly done. I'm so glad you enjoyed this.
Yeah, it was great.
So this concludes Dennis versus the Movies month.
Thank Thor.
Are you converting to Norse
Thorism?
paganism? Yeah.
Just Thorism. Just him.
So let me ask you something. What did you think of Dennis versus the Movie month?
It was a trial.
What? Was there any movie you didn't like?
No, I liked all of them.
All
They were all
right.
great, and I kind of knew I would. But
Yeah.
Would
Would I ever steer you wrong?
No. But this is just the first time. I assume next year we'll do it again.
Yeah, I would like to.
And maybe, who knows? Maybe we'll finally find that clunker.
But then again, if I'm the one who is showing you these films because I want you to see them,
Yeah.
why would I want to watch a bad movie?
I don't know. You like trash? Maybe you'll find trash.
Okay, but that's not a bad movie. That's a trash movie. This was a trash movie.
Yeah.
You know, what I don't want to show you is something boring.
All right.
And I haven't done that. So
far, no.
All right. You can follow us on social media, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. We're on all of them. Mary vs. Movies, X, Mastodon, Instagram, TikTok. What else is there? I don't know. Blue Sky?
Tumblr?
Tumblr is Mary versus the Movies. So we're on all of your major platforms. Threads. We're on Threads. So you can find us elsewhere. We're on all of your major podcasting platforms. We're on Apple Music, where you can rate and review the show, and we would appreciate it if you did. We're on Spotify. We're on, I don't know, Overcast?
Google Play's gone?
I think it is.
Okay.
I don't know what Google's doing. And I never set up doing like YouTube. Apparently they want you to upload your, but like there's no visuals. What are you gonna do? Just stare at our logo for like an hour? I don't know. So otherwise, look, you can get our RSS feed, plug it into whatever your podcatcher of choice is, and we are there in your ears. We also have a Patreon where you can help support the show for $3 a month. You can help pay for things like the rental of Rock and Roll Nightmare, the server from which you have accessed this show, the Zoom account with which we interview people. All those things cost money, and we are not ad supported. We are entirely out of our own pocket beyond whatever people sign up for the Patreon to support it. But if you sign up for the Patreon, you get access to a second show that we do usually once a month, called Hollywood Avalon, where we watch Arthurian movies. And so we've watched anything from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade to The Kid Who Would Be King to Unidentified Flying Oddball to The Green Knight to I think we're going to try to get Camelot out by the end of the month. We watch Bugs Bunny cartoons. Somebody suggested there might be Popeye cartoons out there that might have King Arthur stuff in them, so we'll have to look for that. So yeah, like sign up for the Patreon and you get access to Hollywood Avalon, where it's basically like this but with King Arthur, and even longer, because God knows you need that. So next week, I don't know what we're doing.
Are we flipping?
No, because I haven't actually picked the movies yet.
Oh, okay.
And the reason being, like, you know, we've got stuff going on with like the house and everything. Plus, also like next week, it's your birthday, it's my birthday, it's Easter. So, you know, my mom is very busy with church and everything. So I don't know what we're doing for next week, you know. But we will have an episode next week. I just don't know what it's going to be. So we don't have anything to flip just yet.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's bring Dennis versus the Movies month to a close. And I guess I have to do this one last time.
Yeah. So until next time,
let's tune our weapons.